Welcome to the Butterfly Effect. I'm Chris Horner. This is stage 6 of the UAE Tour. Now, I know the classics are just starting up north in Belgium with Omloop Het Nieuwsblad, and I'm going to cover that in a second edition of the Butterfly Effect here later today. After you watch here on stage 6 of the UAE Tour, you can tune in later and catch Omloop Het Nieuwsblad if you're a cobblestone specialist and you love the bergs, which we all do, so I know you'll tune in. Now, let's get into stage 6. Because there's 3 riders up the road. Larry Warbase for AG2R, he's up there. Zaccarato for Green Project, again is in the breakaway. And then Plankard's up there. Now Plankard from Albacete de Koenig, he's trying to get the black jersey. And Zaccarato would like it, so there's a little bit of competition at the first sprint, but Plankard clearly has the speed. So once we get to the second sprint, there is no fight there as Plankard takes the black jersey. And he'll probably wrap that up at the end of the UAE Tour. Now, let's get down into the last 3K of action happening here at the UAE Tour because everything before that was about a sleeper. So if you really love field sprints, though, you got to tune in because it's an exciting field sprint because we're at the UAE Tour. So once we bring the Peloton all the way up and catch the break with Larry Warbase being the last guy for AG2R, caught and wrapped up just under about 7 kilometers to go. Things start getting excited. It's curb to curb. And then once we get into 3K, that's when everybody knows the big fight is going to come because there's a right hard turn coming up. And so everybody wants their sprinters at the front for this right turn at 1.8 kilometers to go. Now, leading into this right turn, it's Remco Evenepoel from Quick-Step up there because he wants to stay out of trouble because he's the race leader here. So he doesn't want to get caught behind any splits and certainly not behind any crashes. He succeeds in that, goes through the right corner there. And then after that, we'll see his teammate take over at the front. Won't be too long before we see Bahrain Victorious get on the front with just under 1.7 kilometers to go with a solid team up there. Now, as we come under 1K to go, we're going to see some problems because it's Mark Cavendish, Astana's last chance to win a sprint stage here, but he flats out, and we see the Astana rider going out the back. Camera fast forwards back up with about 800 meters to go. It's Trek Segafredo. They're pulling hard on the front. They got Bahrain Victorious all lined up there with maybe one DSM rider locked in there, if I remember right. Anyways, there's a little bit of chaos up front with only one Trek Segafredo rider, but Bahrain Victorious will take back over, and they start going solid down the center of the road. We look over to the right side. Lotto Sudal got Caleb Ewan out of trouble and near the front of the group here with a solid chance to win. Look over to the left. Guess what? Jayco's looking solid with yesterday's stage winner Dylan Groenewegen locked onto his teammate's wheel. Close there, we see 2 Trek Segafredo riders and Bora Hansgrohe riders just in front of him. Now, with about 550 meters to go, Jayco Alula, they get to the front and they're going full gas. But guess what? 350 starting to hit, and it's Bora Hansgrohe coming by fast. Dylan Groenewegen's going to start making his way over to the left side because he knows Bora Hansgrohe's going fast and is leaving too much for Mezgits to do a full lead out all the way from back there about 550 meters to go. Now with that, we see it's Danny Van Poppel at the front. Only problem is for Danny Van Poppel is they were going through the chicane there. He's leaving the left side open between the fencing and Sam Bennett behind him because he's a little too far from the fencing. He's going full gas though, trying to keep the speed high to lead out Sam Bennett. And then all of a sudden, with about 225 meters to go, we're going to see it's the big guy, Tim Miller from Quick-Step starts his acceleration. He's coming up the inside, and then just behind, we're going to see a little battle back there about 225, and it's Emils Liepins from Trek Segafredo boxing with Milano from UAE Team Emirates, who's already won a stage here. That's going to slow those two up and cause some more problems again later because Tim Miller's flying up the left side. Guess what? Danny Van Poppel didn't move over. He either needed to close it to the fencing to close off so that no one could pass the left side back there of his team sprinter, Sam Bennett, or he needed to start going right once he was getting passed by the Quick-Step rider of Tim Miller. He doesn't move over, and now all of a sudden Sam Bennett, his sprinter, he's got some problems because Dylan Groenewegen came over from the right side, and coming up the left that was following Tim Miller, that's Milano. Milano's going to get abused because not only did he have to battle with the Trek Segafredo rider with the elbows coming out, but now he's going to have to battle with Sam Bennett, and Sam Bennett is getting blocked from Danny Van Poppel, his own teammate, and from Milano on the left side. So Tim Miller's got an open road. We back the film up just a little bit more because I want to talk about Lotto Soudal. They had done a solid job of getting their sprinter, Caleb Ewan, in there. But now all of a sudden, Caleb Ewan decided to follow his team all the way around the right side. He's got to go around all the riders that were pulling off the front. So Caleb Ewan's not giving himself any real legitimate shot of winning here on stage 6, the last sprint stage of the UAE Tour. Now we focus back over on the left side because Tim Miller's going full gas. He's got an open gap. Sam Bennett is trying to close the gap, but he's got nothing left after he had the box with Milano and his teammate Danny Van Poppel. Dylan Groenewegen, who came around the teammate of Sam Bennett, of Danny Van Poppel, had to go the long way around. So Tim Miller takes a stage 6 victory, his second victory here at the UAE Tour with stage 1 and stage 6 now. Second on the stage is going to be Sam Bennett, third Dylan Groenewegen to round out the podium here at the UAE Tour. Tons of boxing going on. The last 500 meters was pretty exciting. Even the winner, Tim Miller, had to do some boxing back there before 500 meters when he was trying to get out from the inside out to the left side of the road so he get a little bit of opening gap. So he didn't have a clean run either, but he had a beautiful clean run all the way from about 225 as he's passing both Bora Hansgrohe rider all the way to the line. Now Remco Evenepoel, he's stayed in the race leader's jersey, of course, because he looked after himself through the real technical, difficult section with just under 2 kilometers to go. So let's talk about tomorrow's stage 7 because we have the next mountain stage here at the UAE Tour, and it's a summit finish. Now, what can you do to beat Remco Evenepoel? Well, first off, if we go all the way back to the first mountain stage here at the UAE Tour, you don't pull at the bottom of the climb. You don't pull at all the whole stage. Honestly, nobody should. They should let brakes go up the road. They have to make Quick Step do the work from kilometer 0 all the way into the start of the last climb, and especially have his climbers have to pace him up the climb. If you're lucky, throughout tomorrow's flat part of the stage, you lose all the flat guys like Bert van Leerburg and, of course, Tim Miller, who won 2 stages here at the UAE Tour. You want to get rid of those guys fast, having to do a lot of work. Hopefully it's a little bit windy, but not too much wind to cause chaos, just enough to cause some difficulty so that Quick Step have to do a lot of work on the front to get the whole peloton into the start of the last climb together. Now, most important, when you start the last climb, we all know that's where the race general classification is going to be decided. It's a long climb. It's got some good steepness to it at about 7% all the way up to the top, and you're going to have some more pitches that are a bit steeper than that, right? So when you start that climb, unlike that first mountain stage where we saw Bahrain Victorious ride in the front, Bora Hansgrohe bringing back the UAE Team Emirates. Come on, knuckleheads. I don't want to see that tomorrow on stage 7 of the UAE Tour. What I want to see is the whole Quick Step team have to control from start to finish and all the way up the beginning of that climb when you got riders like Yates attacking early, possibly trying to get a gap and put some more pressure on Remco Evenepoel, and then Platt from Ineos. Do you want second place? If you want second place, put your Ineos guys on the front just like you did on the last mountain stage. Bunch of knuckleheads. Let them ride the front and see if you can drop Remco Evenepoel outright if your legs feel that good. But I don't think anybody watching this show on the Butterfly Effects believes that you're going to be able to drop Remco Evenepoel on tomorrow's last final climb here at the UAE Tour unless you can get the kid riding the front for a few kilometers on his own, and then you start attacking him. Pale Bilbao starts attack, Platt has to attack, but you got to let all the other teams like UAE Team Emirates, who tried to do it on the first mountain stage, but again, Bora pulled them back, and so did every other team. Even Bahrain Victorious were on the front for no reason at all. So if you want to race for podium, sure, Bahrain ride the front, Ineos ride the front all day. But no, if you want to win, you have to make Quick Step ride the front throughout the whole stage, and especially try to get Remco Evenepoel on the front someplace on the climb. Now, can you beat Remco Evenepoel? Probably not. If the climb's steep enough, like I remember it is, could be Remco Evenepoel just decides to light it up and he goes solo from halfway up the climb. That's a big possibility, but at least you tried. At least you put him under pressure. You don't want to just come into the last 150 meters like the last climb with Remco Evenepoel never once having to touch the front and light it up to the finish and round out the general classification, winning stage 1. winning the team time trial, winning stage 6, and of course, possibly winning tomorrow's stage if Quick-Step can control the stage like I would like to see them do and would expect them to do. But it's the only thing you can do if you want to beat Remco Evenepoel. He has to pull someplace on the climb for a significant amount of kilometers, and then you might have the possibility of dropping him, or possibly, like I said, he just lights you up and goes solo all the way to the finish anyways, because he is clearly the best rider here at the UAE Tour. But please, guys, do something to put Remco Evenepoel under pressure on tomorrow's last summit finish. Don't just pull him to the finish line like we saw on the first mountain stage. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. I hope you guys have enjoyed the butterfly effect. Like I said, Omelette Het Nieuwsblok is coming fast. I'm going to shoot it right after I finish here. So hope you guys enjoyed today's take, and I hope you enjoy the UAE Tour because it's been a fabulous sprinter show, and tomorrow's the last mountain stage. Like and subscribe. I'll see you real soon.